Mike Duggan is forming an exploratory committee that will allow him to raise money for a possible run for mayor of Detroit in 2013.
This is a big development. 7 Action News reporter Anu Prakash joins us now. And Anu, you sat down with Mike Duggan today.
Yeah, Dave and Carolyn, Mike Duggan says that he first thought of a possible run for mayor of Detroit last fall, and he says ever since then there has been a feeling of hopelessness in the city of Detroit, and that feeling has only grown.
I've been working in the city for 30 years. I was born here, and I have never seen it this bad.
Mike Duggan is making it official. He's considering a run for mayor of Detroit. He says it's because of what's happening in the city right now.
32 murders the first 2 weeks of September is a level of violence that is just unbelievable. And then you hear the city has a plan to finally fix the streetlights, and then the plan falls apart in Lansing. And the city has a plan to finally fix Belle Isle, and the plan falls apart at City Council. There's a feeling of hopelessness I've never experienced, and I finally just decided I ought to do something about it.
Duggan is the CEO of the Detroit Medical Center, a position he took almost a decade ago when the DMC was on the verge of bankruptcy.
When you were doing the story 9 years ago, everybody said I was crazy to want the job at DMC. It couldn't be saved. But you could see the value. But this city is too great to let it go down the way it's going down. And I do think I can get it turned around.
Duggan sat down with me soon after filing paperwork to set up a committee that would allow him to raise campaign funds. Channel 7 editorial director Chuck Stokes says Duggan is someone voters would take seriously.
He can raise money. He is someone who has a good track record in terms of the business community and what he has done with the DMC. And it brings into this race a formidable white candidate in a city that is still predominantly African American.
Duggan says he'll spend the rest of this year talking to Detroit residents, nailing down fundraising, securing campaign endorsements, and take it from there.
And at the end of 90 days, well, the whole team's going to come back together and say, is this election winnable? And if we think it's winnable, we're going to pull the trigger and run. And if we conclude it's not winnable, we're going to be politically professional enough not to run. And it's going to be a very intense 90-day review.
Now, right now, only a couple of people have declared their candidacy for Detroit mayor next year. One is State Representative Lisa Howes. I did reach out to Mayor Bing's office tonight, but they had no comment on Duggan's announcement today. And coming up at 6, guys, you're going to hear what Mike Duggan has to say when I asked him, what do you think Mayor Bing has done right and what do you think needs to change? So that's coming up at 6.